Your Black World in the Black Business School. And I've had a good day so far myself. I went out and I volunteered. The missus, well, not the missus, but she's going to be the missus one day. But she invited me to go to check out the Chicago Marathon and to volunteer at the marathon. Now, honestly, I typically don't do that kind of volunteer work, but I enjoyed it a lot. It was really nice. It was inspirational to be around people that, you know, are running 26 miles in cold and rain and all that. And I just respect that kind of determination. And I think people that have that kind of determination, they don't usually fail at anything, because people that think like that, they just typically do not quit. And so if you ever want to really learn how to be tough and learn how to really achieve goals, go hang out with some runners. Runners will show you, like long distance runners, because they just don't tend to give up. They don't tend to quit easily. And I think that that's a good attribute to have for pretty much everything. Because if you're a person that never quits, then you'll be a person that never loses. At worst, it'll be a tie. At worst, it'll be a tie. But you'll never lose because you'll never quit. But anyway, what's going on, Eric Wright and D Dollface and Stevie Wonders and Tina Miller and the Evolving Black Woman and Soul Tigress, Dr. B from Hyde Park in Chicago, what's going on? Soul Tigress, I have selected you as a moderator. So Soul Tigress, I need your tigress spirit to protect the feed from all the haters, from all the nasty people out here that want to be evil. So do me a favor right quick. If you want to follow me and connect with me via live stream on a regular basis and get text messages, you can actually text my name, text the word Boyce to 31996. Text the word Boyce to 31996. Now, somebody says it's freezing. Let me know if it's freezing. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to see if I can get on a better Wi-Fi connection. So let's see if that helps us to have a more secure interaction. Okay, so tell me if the video is clear or if it's freezing. If it's freezing, then I'm going to have to make some adjustments again. So let me check my internet speed. I do internet speed tests. Let me see what you got here. Okay. What's up, Jersey J? Michael Powell. What's going on? He's a mod. Thank you very much for doing that. Deanne says, I see you fine. James says it's good. Jade says, hey, Doc. Hey, Jade. How you doing? Okay, good. All right, so we're straight. Okay, so for the sister who said that she could not see properly, let me know. I want to make sure you're good. I want to do what I can. Some things I can't do. Have I been to the UK? Somebody asked if I've been to the UK. Yes, we were in the UK last year, and it was awesome. We had a sellout crowd, and we're going to go back to the UK again because we found that the people in the UK were amazing. So do me a favor, right? Take 1 second right quick, and please hit the share button, subscribe button, like button. Take this link, share it on your social media, have other people join the conversation. We're building our own media. Do that real quick, and I'm actually bringing my friends on Facebook because I think this is something we're talking about, and I'm going to tell you why. This sounds like it's outside of the range of just like financial literacy conversations and stuff like that, but it's not. Everything's wealth. Everything's about wealth. Your health is your wealth. Your family is your wealth. If you can't build families, then you can't build wealth. It's very difficult to build wealth without building strong families because that means you can't manage relationships. Most wealth is built through partnerships and relationships of various sorts. If you are a person that cannot relate to other people, if you are the biggest prick, dick, asshole, jerk on the planet, then you will never form a healthy relationship with anybody, which therefore will not allow you to ever really build anything meaningful because you can't do it all by yourself. So if you want to know why I talk about relationships, that's why. If you want to know why we make movies like The Black Love Blueprint to help Black people learn how to love each other, that's why. If you want to know why I am quick to talk about, what fellas need to do to show respect to the Black queens out here, that is why. If you want to know why I'm quick to give daughterly advice to all the young ladies who maybe didn't have a father that told them these things, that's why. Because if you can't love, then you're not lovable. If you can't give love, then you won't receive love. If you can't give and receive love, then you will never have love, and that means that you never build on love. Empires are built on love. So let's talk about love for a minute. I'm going to talk about this example, and I'm about to show you a clip that I think will help you to understand why I'm so passionate on this issue. This is something that really kind of burns my ass crack. I mean, it just makes me so mad. I'm just like fired up over this because I just saw this clip with Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mama, and her husband, Richard Lawson, and everybody was talking about it, and I said, I got to chime in. Okay, so, all right, let me see here. All right, so give me a second here. All right, hold on. Hit the share button while I do this. Okay. All right. So all right. So here's the deal. All right. So basically, there was this clip. Somebody pointed it out to me, and at first I didn't see what the big deal was. I was like, okay, yeah, some celebrity talking about, talking about his their marriage or whatever. A lot of these celebrity marriages are fake. I just want you to make sure you know that. I want to make sure you know that all these marriages and relationships that you see on TV, on the internet, everywhere else, half of them ain't real. A lot of them are built for publicity, just so you know. You just should know this, right? So you don't go around trying to model your relationship on what somebody else is doing. It ain't gonna work because, again, these relationships are typically fake. They're very, very fake. So just know that. Not that all of them are fake, but a lot of times what looks like a fairy tale probably is a fairy tale. And if you know, fairy tales are not real. Fairy tales are fake. And so now, do I know if Tina Knowles' marriage is a fairy tale? I don't know. All I do know is that it was messy with her previous marriage with Beyonce's daddy. I got a sense that Beyonce was picking sides. I don't like that kind of thing because I don't think it's the child's job to pick a side in a breakup. And I think that if you are a parent who forces your child to take a side in the divorce, you are a terrible parent because you're hurting your child by forcing them to pick between two people that love them. I think it's very immature because your child, while you might be mad that he cheated or you might be mad that your wife mistreated you, that still doesn't mean that man is still not your child's father. That does not mean that woman is still not your child's mother, and they deserve a baseline of respect because of that. You cannot take away somebody's parent rights because you're mad that they didn't do well in the relationship. Those are two totally different things. And it drives me crazy when somebody's like, yeah, my dad was a bad person because he cheated on my mom. Well, shit, are you fucking your dad? Like, were you the one having sex with him? Like, if that's not the case, then you need to stay out of your parents' bedroom because relationships and marriages are complicated. Relationships and marriages sometimes get real interesting. I'll just say that. And I think a lot of times as young people, we don't understand that. And people push us to take a side. And I don't think it's right. I think it's wrong if you have allowed somebody to get you to think that your mother is a bad person because she hurt your father, or that your father is a bad person because he hurt your mother. I think people that allow their children to think that way don't love their children, because your children will grow up unhappy, depressed, damn near suicidal, because they feel that they don't have the love that they deserve. Instead, let them get the love from both parents, and then y'all work out y'all's BS. Y'all work out y'all's nonsense, separately. So anyway, so here's a clip. I want to show you guys this clip. It's Beyonce, mama Tina, and this guy she's married to, this guy named Richard Lawson. And apparently they're being interviewed by somebody. I have no idea who the hell this is, but it's the interview kind of got some traction. I can see why. It's she says some stuff that's real interesting. It's very subtle. At first, I didn't really get it. I didn't see where it was really a diss. And then I thought more carefully, and honestly, I feel like it's more like a sneak diss. It's like a sneak diss, and I'm gonna break down exactly why. And I think ladies should understand why this is a problem. Some people can't see it. Some people are like, oh, well, his ego is fragile. He need to just learn how to da-da-da. Okay, whatever. But I'm going to play this very short clip, so let me flip it around. Those of you on Facebook, you're on my phone, so that's why it looks a little awkward. If you want to actually be right there in the live stream, you can actually go to drboycetv.com. That's drboycetv.com. You should subscribe anyway, because it's the coolest channel on the internet, better than anything you'll ever see anywhere. So here's the clip. Check it out.
Vision the type of man I wanted. I prayed for the type of man I wanted, and I got pretty much that. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. But, he has a lot of the qualities. He has a lot of the qualities that I love, and we're having a really good time, and I'm enjoying life. So there is hope, women.
Okay. Now, pay attention. Let's do it again. Let's go through this slowly. Now, pay attention to his first facial reaction when she says, is he perfect? No. And then he asks again. And I thought it was kind of weird. I thought he was joking, but it doesn't look like he's joking. It looks like he was really upset. Let me explain. Let me just I'll give you insights on it in a second. Let's watch it again slowly.
The type of man I wanted. I prayed for the type of man I wanted, and I got pretty much that. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. But, he has a lot of the qualities. He has a lot of the qualities that I love, and we're having a really good time, and I'm enjoying life. So there is hope, women.
Okay, let me back up again. Play it one more time. Now, look at each of their faces as she's like, kind of like, no. Like, no, you're not perfect. No, but just let's watch it again. I want you to see it 3 times, and then I'm going to analyze and break this down for you why this is a problem. You may not see it. It's very subtle, very subtle. You have to literally, honestly, I'm 47. If I was not 47, I would not get it. Honestly, if I was 27, I would be like, well, what's the big deal? If I was 37, I'd be like, okay, yeah, but whatever. I had to be 47 to really get this. And I bet you all understand it better when I'm 57. But let's play it again one more time.
I prayed for the type of man I wanted, and I got pretty much that. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. But, he has a lot of the qualities. He has a lot of the qualities that I love, and we're having a really good time, and I'm enjoying life. So there is hope, women.
Okay, so let me break this down for you. Let me give you my perspective on this. The show is it's an Oprah Winfrey Network show, I think called Black Love or something. Yeah, I mean it's probably should just be called like Black Celebrity Love or whatever, because that's what they're going to focus on, Black celebrity stuff. But I think Black love is more interesting when you're talking about regular people, not just famous people, and not just integrated famous people. I think that there's 2 segments of Black love. There's like that artificial, there's that other shit that you see with Hollywood celebrities that you see on TV, who both agree that we all love white folks and we want to be around white people. We want white people to pay us, and we want to be on television and we want to do whatever white people tell us to do. And then you got Black love that's based on true empire building, where you got Black people that say, look, we want something different for our kids. We want to build a different community. We want to build the future of the Black community. We want to raise our kids in a specific way that is uniquely and powerfully Black. And I'm not saying that the other type of love, it almost sounds dismissive, a little disrespectful. I didn't mean to make it sound that way. But honestly, I think we put too much stock in celebrities. I really do. I think that when it comes to celebs, a lot of celebs are really screwed up people. A lot of celebs don't know who they are. A lot of celebs have spent their whole lives kind of, whoring it up in order to get on TV or whatever. And so they're really confused individuals. And so anyway, somebody said, please get to the story. I don't know what that means, but either way, if you don't like my style, you should probably leave, because I'm not here for dumb people or people who have short attention spans. All right. So anyway, so let's talk about this. All right. So here are a couple of things that were problematic about her approach. The first thing is that, you could see in this video that he was clearly disturbed by something she said, like something he didn't look. At first I thought he was joking, but then I looked at his face a little closer. I said, this man is not joking. This man is seriously concerned. He's seriously upset. He's seriously, a little mad about what she just said. So it's probably rooted in something else. There's probably something else that happened before that forms the foundation for this what you saw. So what we're seeing is really the tip of an iceberg. And I would be very interested in seeing the rest of the iceberg, because every relationship has a deep iceberg, and y'all see this much of it and define everything based on what you see, where really there's a whole lot of complexities occurring underneath the surface that you don't get privy to because you're not in that relationship. So that's the first thing. The second thing about that comment, the reason this comment kind of bothered me a little bit is because it's like she threw him a sneak diss kind of compliment. It's like when somebody compliments you, but they're really not complimenting you. It's like, maybe I'll give you a funny example. Like, it's like somebody saying, oh my God, Boyce, there were some people when I lost weight, there were some people who said, oh, Boyce, wow, you look great. And that's fine. But then there were some people who were like, God, Boyce, you look so good now. I mean, man, you looked so fat before. I was so worried. It was gross. It was crazy. Or so they would say something like that. Is that a compliment? Not really, right? Or one time, I'll give you an example. One time, actually, I remember hearing my daughter, she congratulated me on Father's Day. And I'm very open about the fact that me and my daughter had to work really hard to build a relationship, because it was tough. It was really tough to find space in her life because she had a stepfather, and I had to really battle my way in. But I remember, she said, I want to say thank you. I want to say happy Father's Day to my dad, who finally became a man that I can be proud of. And I'm glad to see that he matured into the man that I could look up to. And I was kind of like, well, wait a minute. I was always a hardworking man. I was always trying to, there's never been a time in my life where you can look back and say, well, yeah, Boyce used to smoke crack and sleep with hookers on every Friday, and he also murdered people, and now he's doing so much better. No, when I was 21, I was 22, I was teaching college students. When I was 21, I was the number one Black student on the entire University of Kentucky campus. I had the highest grade point average by a long shot. I had a triple major. I mean, I was a hardworking Black man my whole life. So I was kind of like, wait a minute. Like, who the hell told you that your daddy was a deadbeat? Who the hell told you that something was wrong with me? I don't know where you heard that, but that's just not true. So, and I think that what happens is that there's a perception that the world has of the Black man. And this is not about my daughter, about being anti-anybody. I love my daughter, love my daughter's mom, all of that stuff. But it's really kind of speaking to this idea that a lot of people have a perception of the Black man as being flawed until proven otherwise. Or you're flawed and you overcame your many, many, many numerous flaws and made yourself borderline acceptable. And now I'm willing to accept you. Right? Like when I heard Tina's comment, it's like, now think about this. You're saying to this man, like, I prayed to God. And first of that other thing about all, the women praying, looking for a man who goes to church and all that, that's stupid right there. I'm sorry. So let me scratch it. I don't mean to call you stupid. I'm here to say this. Look, the deacons in your church want to fuck you. A lot of times your pastor wants to fuck you. And a lot of times the reason that your pastor and your deacon are telling you to not date no men who don't go to church is because they want you to themselves. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. I'm not dissing no pastors. I'm not dissing no deacons. I'm not dissing no religion. I'm just telling you the facts. In some of the churches, you got a damn whorehouse being run up there by that pastor who's literally pimping from the pulpit. And he knows that if he can keep you away from any men who are true competitors to him, that he knows that he can come in and lay hands on you on a Friday night, because sometimes you're gonna need some loving, and he's gonna be the closest option available, because you're already hypnotized by him because he's a superhero. Right? And I know that pastor respect that people get. You know why I know it? I'm gonna keep it real again. You know why I know about the power that pastors have? It's because I've had that same power. I can tell when there are some women who look at me in a certain way because they see me as this person that they listen to and they follow, and that typically translates into some sort of sexual desire. The difference is that, again, I'm 47, not 37, not 27, which means I've learned over time that you got to be careful, because you can ruin everything over a big butt and a smile. That a big butt and a smile will bring a man down faster than anything else. So in the Me Too era, I ain't trying to mess up everything over a big butt and a smile. So that's why I can tell you these things, because I've seen it from multiple angles. So what I'm simply trying to say to you is so from the beginning, she's like, I prayed for my man, I prayed for this, pray for that. Okay, you can pray for that. That's fine. Praying is wonderful. My mother is my prayer warrior. My mama prays for me, and I take it very seriously. But as you're praying for your man, are you preparing for your man? You're praying for the man, but are you preparing for that man? Like, you're praying for him, but are you preparing for him? Meaning, are you just sitting around assuming that he might be flawed, but you ain't? Notice she's very quick to bring up his flaws, but can't bring up none of her own, right? So you are sitting there thinking that you're perfect because you're cute and you have a master's degree. That's the typical formula unfortunately, for someone. They think because they're cute and got a master's degree or look good in a dress or in a tight skirt or whatever, that's enough to be worthy of love. That does not make you worthy of love. I'm sorry, that doesn't do it. That's a prerequisite. Like in college, we had prerequisite classes that would get you into the program, but that does not help you graduate. A prerequisite will get you over the bar. It will get you admitted into the competition, but that does not guarantee you a gold medal. So a prerequisite might be that you're cute and that you're smart, but that's not enough for a quality man. I'm talking about a quality man like a Richard Lawson or whatever. And I'm not saying Tina Knowles ain't got it going on. Beautiful, gorgeous woman. But if you ever want to annihilate your beauty in 2 seconds flat, if you're a beautiful woman and you ever want to make yourself ugly, just be an ugly person. Just be an ugly person who says ugly things. If you're an ugly person who says ugly things, then every point that you gain by being the hottest girl in the room starts to disappear. And real men, decent men, ain't gonna want nothing to do with you. They're gonna walk the other way. And because I've done that. I've been in a situation, I've been like, woo, woo, she look good. Oh, and she's smart too. But then I'll be like, I get closer. And like they said, like Andre 3000 said, lean a little bit closer. See, roses really smell like boo boo ooh, ooh. So I get closer. And I'm smelling the roses. I'm like, ooh, what a stank attitude. Ooh, I'm getting away from her. I'm going in the other direction. So and you know what happens? The only men who stick around are the assholes because they don't care. They're like, oh yeah, she's a jerk, but shoot, I'm gonna go get some of this ass and use her up before she uses me up. So ultimately, if you are not a good human being and you're not uplifting that man, then most decent men are not going to be interested in you. They're going to walk the other way. You're going to get male attention. I mean, that tight skirt, you always going to get male attention if you looking good. That will never stop happening. You will never, ever not be able to post a booty or titty pic on Instagram and not have 1,000 men blowing up your inbox. That's going to happen forever. And what happens with the poor ladies who don't have the fathers at home to explain things, I think you don't just need a father, you need an intelligent father. So for some of y'all, maybe I'm playing that role. So I'm gonna take that role right now. I got daughters, they're in their 20s. So I'll take that role for you right now. I will tell you what an intelligent dad will probably tell you and break it down for you. Look, it's biology. The man is always going to want to check out your hot Instagram pics where you wearing the bikini or you got the tight jeans on or you showing off the booty, showing off the boobies, showing off whatever else you got going on. The man will always give you attention for that, but that is not the same as love. That is not the same as respect. That is not the same as permanent attention. That is not the same thing that's going to get you walking down the aisle with him. Now, if you're just looking for a little penis on the side, if you're looking for, a chance to just have some sex, yeah, sure, you'll get that. You'll find plenty of guys who will have lots of sex with you. They probably have sex with 100,000 other girls, but that's okay with you, then do that. That's fine. But if you're looking for something more meaningful, you got to go deeper than that. You got to go deeper. If you can't go deeper, then you're going to miss. You're going to lose. If you can't go deeper, you're going to lose. So here's the thing. So I'm listening to Tina Knowles' video, right? And I'm watching what Tina said. And the reaction in her husband's face was one that would concern me. It's almost like how people, like my good friend Zaza Ali pointed out how, what's her name? Ariana Grande, when she was sitting next to that pastor, she's like leaning away from him. And she was like, this is what a woman looks like when she's uncomfortable. And that look. And I agree, she did look uncomfortable. That he looked uncomfortable. Like a man, I can look in his eyes and say, oh, wow, he's angry, he's annoyed, he's pissed off, and he's thinking about something. And, I don't know what he's thinking about. He could be thinking, my side chick would never say something like this to me. Or maybe I should walk away from this person. Or there she goes doing it again. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut because I don't want to say anything stupid on TV. And I think that what she could have done to make it better, and I don't even know if she would do that, because I've seen people that have egos so big that they can't admit their own flaws. If you're a person like that, like if somebody says, where are some areas for improvement for you, things you need to work on, and you can't think of anything, or you loop it back and always blame the other person, then that kind of means that you're probably an asshole in relationships. Because what you will do if you think that way is you'll be the person who will be very quick to criticize what other people are doing, what's wrong, what they ain't doing, what's wrong with them, and also but you can't see for a second the things that are wrong with you. Right? So maybe if she had simply said, no, he's not perfect, but shoot, I know I ain't perfect, then that would have been okay. That would have been, like, ha, 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 oh, that's so cute, look at them. But she literally is like, I prayed for the right man, not I prepared. I did not I made myself great for him. I wanted to make myself special for him. It was like I prayed for a man with certain qualities. He has most of those qualities, right? That's another thing. I mean, that's like, I'm not saying that that's not true. Most people don't have everything you want, but you don't go and tell them that. You don't say, yeah, baby, you got most of the stuff that I like in a woman. I mean, but, I do like booties and you ain't got no ass. And I do like women that, that can cook, and your cooking isn't very good. And really, I like women that are a little thinner than you because you're kind of fat. But I love you though. I love you despite the fact that you're fat and can't cook and have a little booty. Like how would that sound? How would that sound? I really want you to kind of flip that, right? And I want you to kind of accept this possibility that when you tell a man, when you emasculate a man, especially in front of other people, that's kind of like him looking at you in front of a lot of people and saying, you's a fat, ugly bitch. You are a terrible girlfriend, or you are a when you do what you're supposed to do, but shoot, half the time you ain't. Like think about that. Imagine if a man said that to you. Imagine if a man said, yeah, you're okay, but you're not perfect though. And you say, I'm not perfect. No, you're not. Right? Like how would you feel? Would you feel more empowered? As a woman, would you feel loved? Would you feel respected? Would you feel appreciated? Would you feel like that was the relationship for you? Would you feel, or think about this. So imagine if you got a person where at home, that's what they're saying to you. They're telling you, they're quicker to tell you where you came up short than they are to tell you where you came out right. They're quicker to tell you what's wrong with you than they are to tell you what's good about you. They're quicker to tell you all the areas that you could do better, you need to do better, than they are to tell you the areas where you are doing better, right? So think about this. So contrast this, right? Contrast this. Imagine if I've been trying to help the ladies to understand how this man felt or might have felt. I don't know. I don't know this man. I just saw his facial expression, but I know how I would feel if somebody said that to me. I wouldn't marry a woman like that. I don't care. I don't care. You could be literally prettier than Miss Universe and have a vagina made out of solid gold with platinum rim and with some strawberry pancakes in the middle, and I would not marry you. I would not marry you if you were the last woman on earth, the sexiest woman on the planet, and the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. If you talk to me like that, so I will just say that like, sure, a man will have sex with you no matter what. Like, men will have sex with a pretty girl, even if she's a complete ass. Seriously, that's why you got girls that are gorgeous and they meet lots of men and they interact with lots of men, but the men don't stick around. It's because, again, the men are always attracted to the physical. They're always going to come running. If you giving it out, then you always going to have a taker. That's easy, right? The question is, do you have a stayer? Do you have somebody that really wants to be with you long term, right? So anyway, another thing that made me think about was, it made me think about a friend I had. I had a friend, by the way, make sure you hit the like button, share button, and subscribe button before you go, or before we move on. Also, right now we're talking about Tina Knowles in this whole video with her and her husband, Richard Lawson, where she kind of emasculated and all that. I'm gonna show the video again for people who just came in late. And also, don't forget, I'm doing this how to invest in the stock market seminar on Tuesday night. If you want to join, you can go to drboyceseminars.com. That's drboyceseminars.com. Everybody should learn how to invest in the stock market. If you don't learn how to invest in the stock market, it's nearly impossible for you to ever become wealthy or for your children to become wealthy. So make sure you and your kids know how to invest in the stock market. Make it part of your culture. That's an important part of the wealth building process. If you miss that part, then you're probably going to miss the chance to build wealth. It's very difficult to do. It's like trying to outrun a sports car. All right. So anyway, let me play this clip for you guys quick, so that everybody who just came in can check it out. It's real interesting. So check it out. Here we go.
I envisioned the type of man I wanted. I prayed for the type of man I wanted, and I got pretty much that. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. But, he has a lot of the qualities. He has a lot of the qualities that I love, and we're having a really good time, and I'm enjoying life. So there is hope, women. And I wanted, I prayed for.
Now look at Tina's face. Look at the way her eyes rolled when he was like, no. I don't know why he was asking her, like, if she's, I can't imagine asking my woman, like, if I'm perfect. Like, I know I'm not perfect, right? If I said no, if I did it like that, it would be a joke. It'd be like, what? I'm not perfect. But then to have her react, like rolling her eyes, was real deep. That was real interesting. So check this out. Watch this.
The type of man I wanted, and I got pretty much that. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. But, he has a lot of the qualities. He has a lot.
But look at that. Let's do it again. I wish I could slow this down. But look, there you go. That's her face. Look at her face. She's like, no. So let's see. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that facial expression. Look at her face. Now, here you go. Look at it again.
No. He has a lot of the qualities that he has a lot A lot of the qualities, no. He has a lot of the qualities that absolutely not. But, he has a lot of the qualities, no. He has a lot.
Okay, so you see her.
A lot of the qualities that that I love, and we're having a really good time, and I'm enjoying life. So there is hope, women. And vision.
Okay, so again, maybe we're making something out of nothing. Maybe it's not a big deal. I will say that what this kind of speaks to is this. Let me give you an example that I can tell you that I think a lot of people can relate to it. And fellas, if you in here, like tell me if you feel anything that I say. Like the ladies, I'm really talking to the ladies, but I'm talking to the guys too. In the sense of I think that a lot of times we don't we see women as victims in relationships, and we see men as natural predators. Like we think, okay, if there was an abusive relationship, it was because the man was abusive and the woman was just baking cookies and getting her ass beat because she was baking the cookies wrong or whatever, right? That's what we picture when we think about abuse. But the problem is that many of us know that, we know women are strong. We know Black women are incredibly strong. And some women are so strong that aggression comes out in the relationship. It can turn into, if you're not careful, emasculation, psychological attacks. A lot of it can start, when you're a child. You see a lot of boys get their egos bashed in by their mothers, just the same way you might see girls getting beat up by their fathers. And so basically, I will say this. I think that one of the nicest things a woman can say to a man, or a man can say to a woman, same thing, is that, look, I accept you. I love you for who you are. Even if you are, even your imperfections, I love your imperfections because that's you. Now, that's hard to do. That's a special kind of love. It's difficult to do that. But I can say that when I heard that from a woman, it meant a lot to me, because a lot of times as a Black man in my life, I had constantly been hearing about all the things that were wrong with me, right? So imagine if you're, the same thing with ladies, like imagine if you're dealing with a man and you say, do you think I'm pretty? And he says, well, you could be if you would change your hair and change your makeup, if you would stop wearing those ugly outfits. Like you would be kind of like, damn, like you wouldn't feel pretty. So what would that do? That would make you vulnerable to infidelity, because you would be very attracted to a man who says, girl, I just think you're amazing the way you are. I love you for who you are. And what do women say on a regular basis? You hear women all the time say, if a man can't accept you for who you are, then that ain't the right man. I need a man who can accept me for me. But the question is, are you able to do the same thing? Are you able to accept that man for who he is? Or are you a person who accepts him based on conditions? Like, as long as he does this, then I like him. As long as, I approve of XYZ, then he's attracted. As long as he fixes this, then he'll be acceptable. And I think that there's kind of like that strange double standard there. We're used to double standards being applied in favor of men, but there are some double standards that get applied in favor of women in the Black community, because the Black man, so many people beat up on the Black man. So many people see the Black man as ignorant. They see him as a predator. They see him as irresponsible. They see him almost like an animal, like he doesn't love his children. He's just not a good person. So sometimes you have women that internalize this, because because think about this. If you grow up and you have a Black man that hurt you, like your father disappoints you. So you're like thinking, man, this man really hurt me. And then you meet some Black feminist who says, yeah, men are garbage. All men do this. And Black men are, they have toxic masculinity and blah, 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 blah. Well, it's very easy for you to go in a direction where you start to see Black men in a certain light that is not favorable to those men. You see them as flawed people who might reach your standard, but maybe they won't. And the problem is that if you're constantly evaluating whether other people can meet your standard, you're not spending 1 second wondering if you actually meet their standard. You're sitting here looking at yourself as perfect and thinking, well, I'm single and I'm perfect and nobody wants me. I don't know why. Something must be wrong with them. And you don't even think for a second that, hey, maybe there's something I need to do a little bit different, other than just, work on the shape of my booty and get ass injections. Maybe there's something I should do different, other than just thinking that I'm a great catch because I'm a doctor or I'm a lawyer. I'll tell you, when I was single, I did not date. I don't say I didn't date. I was very hesitant to want to date doctors, because I'm like, well, how are you going to manage a relationship if you at work all the time? If you always working, what, you think I'm going to be like the poodle that you just leave at home and I'm just going to wait for master to come home every day? No. People who do that, people who start relationships and they're working all the time and neglecting their relationships, they get cheated on because your partner has needs. I had a friend like that. I had a friend who was a high-flying lawyer. She was a young sister, brilliant woman, went to the top law school, one of the top law schools, and became this high-flying attorney, making all kinds of money at this big white law firm, making all kinds of money, everything else. And she had a guy, she dated some guy who was a good-looking man. They had great sex. She fell for him. They started a relationship. Now, it was a long-distance relationship. That right there is like strike one. You got to be cautious. Doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Just means you got to be careful. Long distance, one of the key factors in people coming together, according to psychologists, is proximity. Proximity means that people who are closer have an advantage over people who are further away. So if you have distance in your relationship, you must overcome that distance. Maybe you get on Skype every day or whatever, but you got to work on overcoming that distance. You got to factor into your budget, time to visit each other, all that stuff. But anyway, so here's the thing. Here's what's interesting. She thought that because they made a commitment to be in a relationship, that they were just going to be in a relationship. She put her relationship on autopilot. Autopilot means that she was pretty much ignoring him most of the time. She was neglecting him most of the time. I was her friend. I was like, damn, like, when's the last time you called your man? Like, you ain't, well, she's like, oh, well, I was busy with this case and working with this case and this firm and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, well, whatever. And then one time she went to go see her man and she hadn't seen him for like 4 months. And I said, oh, is your man picking you up at the airport? And she said, yeah, he's going to pick me up. And I said, okay, he's eager to see you. She said, yeah, he ain't had no booty in 4 months, so he's eager to come see me. And I was thinking, you think he ain't had no booty in 4 months? Yeah. Okay, let's go with that theory. And so maybe about 6 months later, she found out that he had other women that gave him the attention that he wasn't getting from her. And so she's all devastated, broken down, crying, like, oh, how could you do this to me, blah, blah, blah. Because we think people keep commitments just because they make them. Well, really, we neglect the fact that human beings have needs. Even if a person has needs, commitment means almost nothing. If their needs are in complete contradiction to what they committed to, it's very difficult for them to keep commitments. Love is the ultimate addiction. So think about a drug addict. Like, love is the ultimate addiction. It's one of the ultimate drugs, right? It operates on your brain just like a drug. And so think about this. Imagine if you made a deal with a drug addict and you told the drug addict, look, I need you to come to work tomorrow morning. And the drug addict loves to have crack in the morning. They love to smoke their crack in the morning. And you say, well, I know you smoke your crack at 8 a.m., but I need you to skip the crack session and come to work because that's what you made a commitment to do. What do you think? Do you think the drug addict's really going to show up? Or do you think they're going to get their need for crack is going to overcome their desire to keep a commitment? Commitments tend to work best if they are correlated, meaning going in the same direction as what you need. So people are better at keeping commitments when you are meeting their needs. When you don't meet their needs, they start breaking commitments. Just like having an employee on a job. They need money. They might love you. They might love the company. They might love working for you. And they might say, I'll work for you even if it's for free. I don't care. I'm here forever. But stop paying them and see how quickly they stop coming to work. Stop paying them and see how quickly they start, getting flaky and saying, I would have came out. I wanted to be there, but I couldn't because blah, 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 blah. Because they got needs. You must not ignore the fact that people have needs. So she ignored that. She ignored his needs. So she found out he had this dude, again, he was a good looking man. He had women throwing vagina at him from across state and international lines. He had women that were like, what you need? What is she not doing for you that I can do for you because I'm happy to be a temporary worker in this particular company, right? So he had chicks coming out the closet. And she confronted him about it. And you know what he did? He did something that a lot of people will never do for you. A lot of people will never give you this gift. He gave her the gift of honesty, of complete honesty. And you know what he said? He said, look, I really love you. I really wanted to be with you. I wanted you before anybody else. And I wanted you to be successful and happy. So I wanted to support your career too. But I didn't know I had things I needed. I wanted the company of a woman. You weren't available. And when I asked you, you said that you had other stuff to do. So I didn't want to interrupt you. So I let you go and do your thing. So in his mind, he was just like, look, you were my first choice. You were the one I wanted. I still love you. But I also have these physical needs. And that didn't seem to be a priority for you. So sometimes the person who sits back and lets you do whatever the hell you want is the worst person for you, because there's a reason why they're being quiet and silent as you sit there and consistently neglect their needs. There's a reason why they're not disturbing you. The reason they're not disturbing you is because they might be getting their needs met elsewhere, or they may have already checked out of the relationship. Ladies know what I'm talking about. Ladies know, look, guys, like when she's in your ear, like, hey, I need you to do this. Hey, will you go here with me? Will you do this with me? Whatever, when she's nagging you, nagging is like pain from the body. We don't like pain. We want to numb it, but pain is good for you. Pain is telling you you got a serious medical situation that you need to address, right? And when you stop having pain, that's when you might be in danger. So when she stops nagging, when she stops coming to you and complaining to you and telling you how she feels, it might be too late by then. You might be like, oh, it's so great. Now she don't complain about it anymore. No, she still has the same needs. She's just getting the needs met elsewhere. And so if you think that only happens with women, then you out of your damn mind. Here's why it's a problem. This relates to all this Tina Knowles stuff about emasculating your man and disrespecting and all that. See, here's the bullshit myth that you've been fed about relationships. You've been fed a lie that says this. It says that whenever a woman is unfaithful, it's because there's something wrong. There's an emotional need not being met. He's not doing something right. He's mistreating her or whatever, right? And that justifies her going out and, and riding somebody else's what, right? That explains it all. So she's let off the hook. She didn't do anything wrong. Because if he didn't want her to cheat, then he would have treated her better, right? But when you talk about men cheating, the narrative is very basic. The narrative is, oh, he's an old horny ass dog. He's a doggish man. Man, he ain't shit, girl. He a cheater, girl. He ain't shit. That's all men do. Men don't do that. Men are just dirty little bastards and blah, 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 blah. That's what you're fed. You're not fed anything about the complexity of understanding a man's emotions. You have never been told that sometimes men are unfaithful for the same reasons women are unfaithful. Because you're ignoring their ass and you're disrespecting him. You're not telling him that he's beautiful the way you want him to tell you that you're beautiful. Men don't want to be told we're beautiful, but we do want to be told that we're strong. We do want to be told that we're good. We do want to be told, I love you unconditionally. We do want to be told that, I really just think you're an amazing man. We want you to brag about how great we are and how wonderful we are and how well we treat you. We like that. When I was 9 years old, I loved it when me and my mama went to the grocery store, and my mama said, she said, Coco, you are such an asset. And I was like, what's an asset? Back then, I didn't know what an asset is. Now I teach about assets and liabilities, right? I didn't know. She's like, you really helped me. You're really helpful in the grocery store. And I said, oh, and I like that. Like, that made me want to be more of an asset. That made me a better man for my mama at the age of 9, because I loved that love and support and validation I received from the woman I loved. At that time, I didn't have no girlfriend. I didn't know nothing about relationships, but your parent is your first spouse. That is your first boyfriend. If you're a woman, your daddy's your first boyfriend. If you're a man, your mama is your first girlfriend. So my mama said, you're such an asset. And you know what I did? We came home and my mother got on the phone with her best friend, Charlene. And I said, Mama. And she said, what is it, Coco? I said, tell Charlene what you said about me in the store. And she said, what did I say? I said, about me being an asset. And she said, yeah. She said, oh, girl, I told him he was such an asset in the store. And I bubbled up in pride. I felt so good. And here's the thing. People don't change that much from childhood to adulthood. The outside changes, but the inner child is always there. The inner child is always there. So the same way a little boy loves it when his mama comes to his football game and says, that's my baby. I'm so proud of you, baby. You scored all them touchdowns. A man loves to get that from his woman. He loves to get that from his woman. And you know what that does? That makes him a better man. That brings out the best in him. That makes him want to go all the way for you because you're giving him this emotional high. But if you're beating him down and you're telling him, well, you ain't perfect and you ain't good enough and you would be all right if you did this better. When you're bashing him like that, he's thinking about the side chick. He's looking at the side chick as the woman that he could actually love because she understands him and she's just happy to have a place in his life. And you're bitching, even though he just went out and gave you the world, bought you everything, dealt with your badass kids, helped you pay the rent, put up with your shit, went and bought you some tampons, dealt with you on your cycle, dealt with you when you were being evil to him, and he still ain't even getting a thank you. So at the end of the day, people want to be appreciated. People want to be accepted. They want to be heard. They want to be loved. So the question is, are you showing love? If you want to receive love, you must give it. If you can't give it, then just go and just hang out with a hooker or something like that, because they got male and female hookers for people that don't know how to give love. And a hooker will give you a lot of physical love, but they ain't going to give you nothing to elevate your spirit. That's a fact. So that's what I saw with the Tina Lawson video. That's my 2 cents. I think relationships and family are very important, because you can't talk about wealth without talking about family. You just can't. They're deeply connected. In Africa, most wealth is built from strong families. If you don't have a strong family, very difficult to build wealth. That's why Black people can't build wealth in many cases, because we start all over and over again. We got too many families without the father in the house. We got too many families that are fighting each other. We got too many families that can't keep a relationship together long enough for the baby to be born. That's why wealth is not being built. So that's it. I'm about to go. Have a good day, guys. And don't forget, hit the like button, share button, and subscribe button. Also, make sure if you want to come to the seminar on Tuesday, I'm giving a seminar on how to invest in the stock market. You can go to drboyceseminars.com. That's drboyceseminars.com. If you want to join, you check it out. If you want to learn how to invest in the stock market, I'm going to be teaching my students that. And then I'll be headed over to China, and I'll keep you guys posted on my trip to China. I'm really excited. I haven't been to China in 13 years. So me and the Black queen that's sitting on my arm, the one that loves me unconditionally, I love her unconditionally. And that's the best thing we ever said to each other. We're going to go to China together. And so I can tell you, unconditional love is a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing, whether you're a man or a woman. It's nice when somebody just accepts you and just says, I just think you're great the way you are. And you don't hear that very often. Usually for Black men, especially, it usually comes with a condition. Now, we know sisters go through their thing too. I'm not saying that that's not true at all. Some of y'all men need to learn how to rethink how you treat Black women, but I'm telling you, if you pick a good man, understand he ain't gonna be a perfect man. He's gonna be a good man, but he ain't gonna be perfect. And when you decide to ride that horse, that's your horse, that's your pony, you're gonna ride that race to the end, then that means you gotta accept everything, warts and all. Because if you get to nagging and yelling and bitching all about every little thing, ain't nobody gonna want that. Nobody likes a nagger, male or female. Nobody likes a person who nags. So that's it. I'm out of here, guys. Have a good day. Don't forget, make sure you hit the share button, subscribe button, all that. You can get a free e-copy of my book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, by going to drboycewatkins.net. That's drboycewatkins.net. And also, last but not least, if you want to join the stock market class on Tuesday, go to drboyceseminars.com. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Have a good day. I'll see you soon. Peace.